All right, we are live now. Hello, everybody. Joanna here from Joanna Reads, and I'm here with my good friend Philip from Philip Chase, and we are celebrating our birthdays this month because we both have an August birthday. And in fact, Philip, what day was your birthday? Do you mind
Oh, it was
reminding
the
me?
18th.
The
Yeah.
18th. Oh, well, happy birthday month to you, Philip.
Thank you. And your birthday, actually, this is the day, right? This is
Today,
we are
yeah.
spot on. So everybody in the chat, please give Joanna a big old happy birthday.
Oh,
Um, it is so great to have you on this platform and to know you. And we even got to meet in person once. I hope that'll be able, well, that should happen again. We should have
sweet.
another get together with the crew, the BookTube crew. But yeah, this is just a day to celebrate and have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That was so special, by the way, back when we got to meet in person. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Philip and I got to meet in person at the ICFA conference, which is a conference that happens in Orlando, Florida, every year. And we got to meet, we went, actually, both of us have only been to that conference that one time, right? Like you
Same
haven't been
thing.
back since.
No, yeah,
And
I want to go
that,
back, but yeah.
yeah, it was
That
a
was
really,
2023. Was it 2023 when that happened?
I think it was 2022.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Because I remember I was fresh off finishing Malazan Book of the Fallen, which I finished in December 2021, which was the first year I was on BookTube, and then at that time, I was reading The God Is Not Willing, which is,
Oh,
book
okay.
1 in the Witness series, which had just come out, and, so we met in person at ICFA alongside Stephen Erickson,
Yeah,
so I was pretty starstruck, I will be
it was
honest, I
pretty
was
cool.
so awkward.
Yeah. No, I
Having
don't think it. Yeah, I don't remember any awkwardness at all.
Oh
It was.
gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
like sitting and having breakfast next to Steven Erikson because it's like, I try not to think so much about being starstruck by an author, but it's the
Yeah.
fact that I had read that series, like, I felt like I lived and breathed Malazan Book of the Fallen in 2021. Like, I felt like
Yeah.
it was so much a part of my consciousness
Yeah.
that to be next to the person who created it, who wrote it, is to me, it was just a surreal experience, but
Yeah.
he was so lovely. He was so nice, as was Philip, and so it was Philip and AP Canavan, a Critical
Yep.
Dragon.
Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Of course,
also
Jimmy and Alan were there. Yeah.
Jimmy from Chatting with Nuts, and
Yep.
who was back then the Fantasy Network, and then Alan from the Library of Alexandria. So yeah, that was just a really special time to get to meet these wonderful people. I'm going to
And
go
there's
ahead and
footage too. I think I'm the only one who posted footage of that event, which is on my channel. I guess it's in 2022, but it's one of the week that back then it was the week that was. I switched the weeks that were when I realized I would never do this every week. But back then I think it was still titled the week that was. So there's an episode. The thumbnail is a picture of all of us together.
Mhm.
I think that was your picture actually.
I don't know. I have it. Well, I must be because it's on my Instagram. I have
Yeah.
the picture on my Instagram still, so you can see how short I actually am, which is pretty short. I don't know if you were surprised.
We can see all our relative heights in that
Mhm.
picture.
I was like, "Whoa, Jimmy, you're so tall!"
Look at
And whoa,
all the wonderful people in the chat here.
yes. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to all of you. Oh, Derry, that's so lovely.
Derry. Oh, thank you, Derry. You're wonderful.
Yes, you are. Hello, hello,
Thermal.
hello,
Yeah.
and hello. Yay. Such
Mhm.
wonderful people here in the chat. I really
Brave
appreciate it.
Sin, giving you your appropriate name, the Elvish
Mhm.
Assassin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Otherwise
yeah,
known as Silent H.
the
Yeah.
silent H. Yep. Yay. Thank you so
And
much,
there's Brian.
Brian.
Hope you're doing well, my friend. Brian
Yeah.
is recovering from being in the hospital for a bit there. We're glad to see you back on Friday with the video.
Yes, absolutely. It was a really interesting video too about books that he respects but maybe didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
Such a great question. Brian, if you don't mind me stealing your question, Philip, do you have any books that you appreciated but maybe you didn't feel like you enjoyed?
Oh, for sure. The Book of the New Sun is
That's a
the
good example. Yeah.
first one that comes to mind.
Yeah. That's a
So,
really, really good choice.
yeah,
Yeah.
for me it is. Yeah. tons of respect, but I can't say I enjoyed a lot of it. But
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I can totally see it, understand that. Uh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. It's just so fun because when I was younger, I used to do wild things for my birthdays, like, I'd have big parties and, I guess, a lot more into that kinda thing when I was younger, and nowadays, it's just I have such a chill lifestyle
yeah.
that I thought, why not just have a live show and fill up? It's so perfect because I don't I've never done a live show by myself, and I don't think that would be as much fun, but I knew it would be fun with you. So
Oh,
I'm
I'm
just
so glad to be here. And yeah, I think as I get older too, I've realized that I don't necessarily enjoy the things that everyone expects you to enjoy. So I don't like big parties, but I like hanging out with nice people in small groups. So yeah, this is perfect for me too. And
yeah.
there was Demi Drek and the nerd writer himself. It's Evan. Hey, Evan.
Hey,
Good of you to stop
Evan.
by.
Aw, so grateful you came by. Thank you. We've
Yeah.
been having the most wonderful conversations. At least the ones I've been part of, I've been thrilled to be part of, but all the conversations have been amazing on your
The
great.
great guy Gabriel K. Reed. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I've been just loving those. I just have to talk we have to talk about that a little bit here because
Oh, sure.
we just recently did The Last Light of the Sun, and
Yeah.
I cannot, implore you all more to go and check out that video. Watch at least the spoiler-free section if you haven't read the book, because you'll get to hear Philip read some Welsh triads, which is so delightful. Like, it's incredible, like, to hear you in both languages, to be able to
Well,
speak those.
one Welsh triad, and then I actually also read an Eddic poem in Old Norse as well.
Oh,
So
that's what it
yeah,
was. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how good that Welsh triad was because I learned modern Welsh, and so I don't know. I don't think it's terribly different from medieval Welsh, but I'm sure there are experts out there who would say, "Ooh, you got that wrong" or something. But I did my best with only my limited knowledge, but hopefully it gave a taste of what some of the sources that Guy Gabriel Kay was drawing from, because that's one of the best things about reading his books, is it every single time it sends me to the source material. I'm always wanting to learn, okay, I know this is based on, the Sarantine mosaic was based on 6th century Byzantium. So I read a bunch about 6th century Byzantium and, or, it just, whatever book we're reading at the time, he always makes me want to read more. And I love that. So,
Absolutely. That's absolutely incredible when an author can inspire you to dig into history
yeah.
I feel like our discussions have been so wonderful for that because I mean you brought so much to the table in terms of the historical context in that conversation. And Evan has been so amazing with his PowerPoints and his
Yeah.
historical
Yeah.
knowledge as
He's the
well.
slide man. We're calling him the slide
The
man now.
slide man, yeah, yeah. Those have been so much fun, and I have to say, Last Light of the Sun is one of those books, by the way, that I I would say I appreciated more than I enjoyed or respected more than I enjoyed when I read it, but
Huh.
then, my goodness, my appreciation for it shot up after our discussion. I just
Good.
yes, elevated in so many ways that it makes me think if I reread the book, I don't know, I think I could appreciate it even more. So yeah, that was incredible, especially hearing your thoughts because, uh, if you don't mind me sharing, you
Oh,
loved the
please.
book, right?
I
And
loved it. I loved The Last Light of the Sun. I even said at the very end of the conversation, I think it might be my favorite GGK book, which is definitely, I know, a minority opinion, but it just hit for me in all the right spots where I am, my day job is, I'm, an English professor, but I specialized in medieval literature, and Old English is my passion, my love, and I've learned some Welsh and I know some Old Norse, and he was drawing from all that stuff for this one. So it was just like, oh, I love this so much. And I think it was an advantage too. And I said this during our conversation, but it was like I knew all about the life of King Alfred the Great, for
wow.
example. And there's a character that is completely based on him. And if you don't know as much maybe about Alfred, maybe I was bringing that knowledge into the book, so I didn't need as much time with the character to feel attached to that character maybe. So yeah, but yeah, I, it's not that you need to know Old English and Welsh and Old Norse to have fun with that book. But I'm what makes me happy is that you said you walked away from the conversation with a greater appreciation. And that happens to me every time I'm in a discussion here on BookTube. I always end up learning from my friends, and I love that. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
That's why I've been here for 6.5 years
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah, and just speaking to Brian's amazing video, I noted that he talked about Toll the Hounds in that discussion,
Yeah.
and Dust of Dreams, sorry, Brian, I'm like spoiling your video. I'll say no more about what he says in the video, but I know for me, I felt very similarly about Toll the Hounds. Like I enjoyed it for the most part, but there were parts of it that I just didn't feel were speaking to me in a very direct, personal way. It felt like it was being very direct and personal, but I
Mm,
didn't feel like I was the reader it was engaging with. Like it felt like I could see somebody really connecting with this, and yet this is not. It didn't feel like it was for me targeted towards me, which is fine. But then when we had our Told Hounds discussion on Jimmy's channel,
oh boy.
wow! I
Yeah.
mean, I think that was one of my favorite book discussions again because it just felt endless. There were so many things to unpack and to appreciate in the complexity of what he achieves in that novel.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be one of mine as well. So I love book discussions. I feel like, I know that they're maybe not the most viral type of videos on YouTube,
Just
but
look at my
they're
channel and you'll see the low viewer count on all the deep dive discussions, but that's okay. That's I don't expect them to be. Uh, the people who do show up appreciate them and engage in the comments, and it's a really meaningful experience for me.
Yeah, but they really are special, and I really do hope that they are as special for those who watch, and I'm sure they are. Judging by the comment section. Um, yeah. So, Derry, how many books do you have you added to the respective shelves? Are you asking both of us this question? I don't know. Philip, I don't know if you have any.
You mean from the time I'm not sure what Derry's asking us there. Is that from each other or from the time we've been on BookTube, or maybe some clarity on that one would help us answer that one. Um,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
might
yeah,
have
yeah.
come out from something we were saying earlier and I've forgotten, but
Yeah, so maybe we'll get some clarification about that. I can say that my shelves have grown substantially since I've started my channel, but to be fair, I've actually read the majority of books on my shelf. Like I think if I broke it down, because I always take a scan, I'm like, I think I've read the majority of them. I'm pretty good about that. I mean, there's still a fair bit that I need to read, but uh, yeah, I think that's something I can stand by. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Simon. I'm here to learn Joanna's secret for not aging. Is it unicorn blood? Oh, thank you. Yeah,
I mean,
well,
don't put it past an Elvis assassin to kill a
that's
unicorn.
so awful. I love unicorns, but okay, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Um,
thank you, Chaz. Good to see you.
yeah, thank you so much, Chaz. Appreciate it. I will say, I think for me, I do wear a fair amount of sunblock. I will say that. I do think it helps a lot. Um,
Huh.
that's one of the many things, but yeah. That statement goes the other way too. I totally have books I love that objectively aren't the highest caliber of
Sure.
writing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense too. Mhm.
Hey, fellow introverts.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I have become more introverted as I've aged for sure. Thank you so much, Tom Orange.
There's Tom.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Jenny Wirtz.
Hey, thank you so much, Jenny Words, for joining us in the chat. Appreciate you.
Brilliant Jenny Wirtz, author
Yeah.
of the Wars of Light and Shadow, which we're going through, and we'll be reading at least one more book this year, I hope.
Yes, that's
And
the goal.
finishing up early next year. My goal is to be done with the Wars of Light and Shadow.
Yes. So
First half
next
of
year,
next year.
first half
Yeah,
of next year. Okay. Yeah. We have only 4 books left to go. So
yeah.
is that right?
We should be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
I
just
will
got
do
to
my best.
corral AP.
Yeah. Yeah. But just in case any of you have been following our journey, we did post the Traders Not discussion on my channel. And
Yep.
that was a fabulous discussion and just an incredible reunion. Really challenging for me. I was not on my A game as both Philip and I hadn't read the book in a year and a half, but there were so many plot elements that I felt like I'd forgotten. But at the same time, there were a lot of really memorable moments as well. And I thought it was a wonderful discussion. And I'm so excited to get back into the series. I've been
Yeah,
eager to get back in. Yeah.
same here.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, well, I can't be the judge of your lip Welsh, I'll just say that. Oh, thank you so much, Sharon, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah. Oh, you
Oh,
were
heck,
in Wales
cool.
a few weeks ago, that's so neat.
Pictures. We need pictures, Tom. It is
Yeah,
a beautiful country. It is absolutely gorgeous, mountainous and just inspiring landscape. Yeah.
yeah,
So
that is neat, wow. Um, let's see, JCM Byrne, says, "There's an ancillary question, what books have you maybe not liked until you discussed it or heard someone else's interpretation or take on it?" Hmm. I feel like there's an answer here, and I did a video at one point where I talked about this, and I can't remember what my answer to this was. It was a video where I talked about 5 ways I've changed my mind about books or something like that.
mhm.
Um, but I can't think of what my answer is off the top of my head. I don't know. Do you have an answer to this at all?
I mean, I can't. Nothing that I didn't actually like in the first place.
Mm,
But so many I can talk about that my appreciation deepened from the discussions. So like everything Malazan that I ever talked about with AP, for example, and
yeah,
with you and Jimmy and Alan and plenty of others. I always walk away from those like, wow, there's so much in that I didn't get, and now I feel like I love it even more.
yeah.
But a book that I actually disliked and then came out of a discussion thinking, wow, I actually like this now. I'm not sure that's ever really happened for me, but maybe there have been some where I ended up maybe, maybe a good example of a series that I would say I liked. I would never say I disliked it. In fact, I liked it a lot, but I had more criticisms than normal maybe going into the discussion of the third one, and that was the Greenbone saga, which
Oh,
I discussed with Jimmy and who else was in that? Bookborn was in
wasn't
that
Born
discussion.
and, Made Between Pages
And made,
Taylor?
yes, Taylor from Made Between the Pages. Yes, of course. And I think I walked away from that with some of my criticisms maybe modified and
Hmm,
it was the third book, which had plenty of really wonderful, just iconic emotional moments, but it felt more serialized to me. Like there were many climaxes in that book, and it felt more like a TV series than a novel to me. The third book particularly, and so I kept kind of going. It wasn't
hmm,
always. It wasn't always. I guess maybe this was just my expectations or whatever, but it didn't always work well for me. But I think I emerged from that discussion feeling like I actually think this is fine, that she
hmm,
went for this, and it was a bold decision in a way too, to do it that way. So maybe I had
yeah.
more respect for that particular narrative structure than I walked into the conversation with. Yeah.
Ugh, I notoriously did not like Jade City, so
Oh,
I wanted to love that book because I'm such a huge fan of The Godfather, it's one of my favorite movies, and
oh wow.
after hearing it was pitched that way and, it sounded so interesting, and I really, really wanted to love that book, and, I remember, at the time, I had the library copy, and just almost every single page turn, I yawned, like, almost every single
Oh
one, I was
no.
just yawning and yawning, and my husband at the time was like, You should just DNF it." I'm like, "I can't DNF. I just can't DNF because I also, like Brian, I have such a resistance to DNFing books,
Yeah.
but I forced myself through. There were a couple things I could appreciate in the book,
Yeah.
but I just did not care for her narrative choices, and it
Huh.
just didn't quite transport me or inspire me the way that I was hoping,
Yeah,
sadly.
maybe expectations, or I liked Jade City. I loved Jade War, the second book. That one
Hmm.
really hit in every possible way for me. And then Jade Legacy, I just had the issue with the structure, but still a
Mm.
very emotional book with lots of great moments in it. So probably a better answer to Joe's question for me is maybe the Dandelion Dynasty. Um, because I famously that's a series I actively disliked while I was reading
Mhm.
it. I only read the first two books, so there's my caveat. But I had a miserable time. It was one of the few times when I was just like, please make this end. When I was reading the book, I just had a hard time with the
I felt that way
constant.
with the second book, yeah.
Yeah, particularly. I mean, the first book, I was like, okay, maybe this gets better, and then I read the whole second book. I was like, no, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Because the
Oh, man.
constant interruptions of the story to explain engineering feats, right? So you can
Mhm.
be in the middle of a battle, and then there's this my favorite example, and it's the one I keep using, but it's the poop flamethrower. In the middle, they whip out the poop flamethrower, but then you get the whole backstory to how the poop flamethrower works. And then
Mm,
you get the whole backstory about how they invented it and how they discovered that poop is flammable and how you
no.
could use it to fuel this. And it was like, can we just please get back to the battle? I'm so tired of these engineering side stories, you know.
Yeah, no,
Put it
it
in an
was
appendix
ugh.
or something. I know you did all this research. I know you know these things actually work. If you could build these things, it feels like to me like he built these things to make sure they
Mhm.
actually work. You know, I know you did all that, but please put it in an appendix where I don't have to read it while I'm trying to get through the story. You know,
Oh, that book was exhausting, and there were
I
so
was
many
sitting
flashbacks.
here like, ah,
I felt the length of that book. I'm very proud, by the way. I sold my broken binding editions and even made a little bit of a profit on
oh
them.
wow, ah,
So,
good for you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all
No,
who are
we
fans.
did have our discussion though on book two of Dandelion Dynasty, and I think I walked away with more appreciation for what Ken Liu, who, by the way, is a great writer. I don't want anyone to, if you like that kind of thing where you love like MacGyver type stories where the engineering saves the day, you might love it. It just was not my thing at
Yeah,
all. So, but
yeah. Yeah,
thank you,
no,
Christian.
same here. Thank you so much, Christian. Appreciate it. Yay. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yay. Spoiler away. My content is your content. That's very kind. Booktube and bookish discussions in Discord add so much to my understanding and enjoyment of my reading. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Very well said, Philip. I always learn from these booktube discussions. Oh, thank you so much, Simon, especially on Twanna's channel. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. I work really hard, and Philip inspires me a lot. I've been trying
It
so
does both
hard
ways.
since I started my channel to improve the way that I speak about books because every time I hear Philip, every time I hear you talk, I'm like, oh, he's so eloquent. Like, I wish I could match that. Yeah, I also love Last Light of the Sun. Wow, my favorite K is All the Seas of the World. I'm really looking forward to getting to it. That's
Me too.
great news. Yeah. Oh, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Marianne.
Appreciate it, Marianne. Um, I mean to ask specifically, for your
Oh,
birthdays
of
and
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, got it. Yeah.
So I
Um,
bought my own birthday present. I bought the special edition of the Sun Eater series from the Broken Binding,
oh, wow.
which is, yeah. Happy birthday, me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice job. I
yeah.
think I'm supposed to get some bookish mail from my brother, so because I do have an Amazon book wish list, and, so for family, I think it's easy because they're like, "What do we get you? What's your book where's your wish list?" And I'm like, "Books are just always such a great gift." Like, if I know somebody's a reader, then it just makes it so much easier, which, by the way, Philip, you might receive something from me in the mail. It's not a book, but you might receive something from me in the mail in a few days. I wished it had
Oh,
gotten here in time, but it won't.
oh,
And it's really small. It's something that I've had an idea about for a while,
okay.
and I finally just sat down and tried to figure it out. I still feel like I could have done better, but I hope you like it. I think you'll know who it's from anyway when you get it.
Okay.
I'll just
All
put it that
right.
way. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I remembered that picture of
Oh,
you all.
yeah.
Thank
From
you. Yeah.
ICFA.
That
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
really, really special time. Um, I only watch for the books. Oh, that makes sense that I've read and I never regret it. And I think that that's why a lot of times these book discussions don't quite generate as many views as some other videos is that not everybody's read the book and I think that that's perfectly understandable.
Yep.
Yeah,
We'll usually do like a 10 or 20 minutes of non-spoiler discussion first, and
that's
then
true.
we talk spoilers, but still, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I will say this, like I've been this last year, oh my gosh, I'm so behind in the chat. I'm so sorry about that. I'll try to get through so I'm not
we'll let you get through.
so I'm scrolling through here a little bit more. Oh my gosh, it's Ben.
There's
Yeah. Hi
Ben.
friends. Fun question to ponder. Would you prefer a book that consistently engaged you but doesn't have lasting impact versus an intermittently engaging one with lasting memorable moments resolution? What's your
Definitely the
answer?
latter for
Me
me. No
too.
question.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely the latter.
Yes.
I like entertaining books. I have nothing against them, but my real quest is to read books that leave a lasting impact on me and make me think and make me wrestle. So even books like Scott Baker's Second Apocalypse series, I was not comfortable for much of those books, but they really made me think. They really made me wrestle. They've had a lasting. There's a books I think I could talk about in real time because they stick with me. So that's another way of praising R. Scott Baker's the depth of his writing. Really, even though I don't always agree with the worldview that seems to be getting explored in there, but I respect so much his ability to provoke me into thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Those books did honestly engage me. I did think the character work was so fascinating psychologically, but
Oh
at the
yeah.
same time, I'm with you 100%. Like that is my preference. I think maybe a book that did that for me this last year might be Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke because
Hmm.
there were parts of it that I mean, the writing style, it's not that it's poorly written by any means. It's just a bit dry, okay? It's just the way I guess a lot of maybe some works were written during the 50s. I'm not sure if it's maybe an era thing, but I think Arthur C. Clarke's writing, it's good like from a technical standpoint and it flows really well. And I don't want to take anything away from that because I think that in of itself is saying something, but it's not evocative prose. It's not the type of like, there are certain moments that I felt like that could have been a really emotional moment or a suspenseful moment, but he doesn't have that kind of tone in his writing. But at the same time, what he did with the story and even how he structured it and how he arrived at the end, I was kind of blown away by the end. Even though during the book, I wasn't totally sure I was as emotionally connected. By the end, I was like, this is incredible. And then I kept thinking about the book for a few days. So yeah, I definitely would choose that experience over, something that, like, I'm really I've had a lot of books where I'm, like, consistently engaged, and then I don't ever think about them again. So, yeah, that would be my preference as well. Thank you so much, appreciate it, the birthday wishes there, and yes, yeah. Oh, thank you so much about the GGK discussions. Well, Philip is obviously the host of those, but man, those have been just incredible. All around. I constantly hear great praise for them all around. Well, I'm really glad that you loved it. I know I'm the odd one out when it comes to Jade City. Yeah. And thank you, Chaz, so much for joining us here, packing for the move today.
Good
Well,
luck with the
happy
move.
movie. Yes, good luck with everything. Yes. Let's see, going on from here. Uh, getting some stuff about the Dandelion Dynasty.
The spin-off. It could be a novella for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
It is a
all
feat of engineering. I will admit that. Yes, for
there you
sure.
go. Oh my goodness. We need a poop flamethrower review channel. Oh my
We
god.
definitely need that.
That is so funny. Yeah. Um, oh my gosh, my husband is such a huge tikka masala fan. That's funny you mentioned that. Nice. Favorite cuisines to cook? Do you have a favorite cuisine to cook?
Me, I'm a terrible cook.
Me
I can
too.
make decent pasta. I'm a vegetarian too, by the way, so that
Mm.
influences what I cook and don't cook. But my favorite cuisine to eat by far is South Asian. But
Mm,
unfortunately for me, I'm married to someone who is brilliant at cooking South Asian food. So I get really spoiled that way. But I help out sometimes. I chop up things, and
mhm.
I can do that. But the actual cooking is not done by me. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're so basic here. Like, our dinners are a lot of steamed frozen vegetables. My husband loves to make lentils. We eat a lot of lentils. Um, we make sauces out of cashews and yeah, so I don't know,
Nice.
but we have just kind of like our staples that we go through, but we love them. And then I don't know, we're big on spices and stuff. But yeah, my husband loves tikka masala. He loves that kind of cuisine. So that's definitely a thing. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Wow. I saw the Amazon person come by earlier, so thank you so
Uh-oh.
much, Matt. I'll check that out later after I finish the stream.
You could go right now. I'll talk while you go get your
All
package.
right,
And
I'll be right back.
yep. Okay. So I'm gonna reply to comments. That was very nice of you, Matt, by the way, for sending that to Joanna. Of course, she deserves it. We're gonna have the live unboxing. I can't highlight comments because I'm just a guest here, but I'm reading comments. So we are actually gonna have a live unboxing because Joanna is going to bring her package. And oh, Anita is here. Hello, Anita. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Uh, Tharnell asks, do you guys believe in essential books? Books that you must read in order to get all the other books, like Dante's Inferno and such? Well, you know my answer here, right? Is going to be Beowulf. So, I mean, you have to read Beowulf, of course. Now, I am, I would never say there's a list of must reads for me, but I really love these older stories, things like the Mahabharata and the Ramayana out of South Asia, or of course the Iliad and the Odyssey, and then the Aeneid as well. The Aeneid is the stepchild, I guess. I was just talking to someone the other day about how there are no adaptations of the Aeneid. We have lots of the Iliad and the Odyssey, but what about the Aeneid, right?
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah.
somebody needs to make that one. So I'm talking about Tharnell's question about essential books that you have to read in order to get all the other books. So certainly, like you got to wander. I think these days, why not wander outside of just the Western canon too, right? Oh, look at that! A gift for you! Yay!
Oh
Okay,
my
I'll shut
gosh!
up. We've got the live unboxing. Look at that!
It's the Brian Froud Fairies book. Thank you.
Oh, look at that! That looks beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so grateful for this. So, I actually okay, here's the story. It was on my wish list. Thank you so much, Matt. This was a book I actually used to own a long time ago, and I don't know whatever happened to it. But Brian Froud has been like a huge inspiration to me. If you don't know who Brian Froud is, he's the person who worked with Jim Henson on movies such as The Dark Crystal and I think Labyrinth as well. So his fairy style is very distinct, and you could tell he probably had some influences from long ago, but just absolutely gorgeous.
Ooh,
Look at this little pixie too. Like, oh,
yeah.
his fairies are just gorgeous. Oh. So this book is actually divided too. So there's one side that includes good fairies. I'm trying to see
Uh-huh.
if I can hold this up. See if I can find another photo. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I love this. I have to show this one. Look how
Oh,
beautiful that
magnificent.
is. Just these
Yeah.
sweet fairies. And then you flip it over, and the other side are bad fairies. And then you have like the darker, evil fairies.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. I'm getting that vibe there.
Just incredible stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So I adore his artwork, and I've been wanting to revisit this because I really want to get back into doing some of my own art. And so, yeah, I just think he's such an inspiring, incredible artist. And I really appreciate it, Matt. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have this on the shelf.
Very cool.
Yay. What a
Are we
great
gonna have
gift.
a fairy art show and tell, Joanna, in the future? Is that what I'm
Maybe.
hearing?
I do have some from a long time ago. It's probably I don't know where it is, but yeah, absolutely. I'd love to
That
be able to
would
like to draw my own fairies. I think that'd be so fun.
That would go
So
over well, I think. Yeah.
I'm gonna put that down now. Thank you. Oh, and I'll also share really quickly. I did buy something after our last Light of the Sun discussion based on Philip's recommendation. And
Oh, the Mabinogion.
the
Yay.
Mabinogion,
The
yes.
Davies translation. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did get that based on your recommendation because you said the Davies translation is the best, right?
Well, I
So,
think for contemporary readers, yes, for sure. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm a contemporary reader probably when it comes to this topic, so I
Yeah.
probably just need whatever is easiest. Thank you so much, Anita. It's great to see you. It's been a while. I am so glad to see you, and I hope you're doing well. We got a question here. Do you believe in essential books? Books that you must read in order to get all the other books? This is such a great question. I
Yeah.
love this question. Like Dante's Inferno and such. You're probably gonna say yes, right?
I
Do you
mean, I
agree?
was just sort of mumbling my answer. I feel like the canon is something that shouldn't be a fixed thing. That as we look back at different ages, you know, there are different. Surely there are books and stories that speak throughout the ages, and then there may be others that were neglected for whatever reason, and then we rediscover them. There are a lot of authors like that. Like Kate Chopin is an author that comes to mind who was censored in her own lifetime, and eventually was discovered long after her death, and is now considered to be one of the great short story writers. I feel like the canon is something that we shouldn't think of in terms of as a fixed thing. And yes,
Mm,
certainly there are much older texts that I love myself, being attracted to old things. Going all the way back to Gilgamesh, and I was talking about the Mahabharata and the Ramayana and the Iliad and the Odyssey and the Aeneid and of course, oh, we have another person. It's speaking of the Iliad and the Odyssey and the Aeneid. There he is.
that
Look
couldn't
at
be
who
more
showed up.
perfect
I
timing.
just had to say the Aeneid, and then he was there. Boom,
I'm teaching the Aeneid this year.
bam. See, you're keeping the light of civilization alive, Alan. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. The kids appreciate it. Let me tell you, they're very grateful.
That's
This
such
is
a perfect timing. That's such perfect timing for you to come in. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Happy birthday, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah.
This is my first time online in like 2 months. Like, so my reappearance is here on this channel.
Wow, it's almost like back from the dead.
You don't understand. Like, at the end of June, Sal and Pete came to visit me, which is awesome. They stayed with us for a
Wow.
week. As soon as they left, my entire family came into town for 4th of July week. So we hung out with them. As soon as they left, the good friends of ours who the friends that actually introduced me and Christina, they moved to upstate New York the day we got married, like the day after we got married. They were in our wedding and then they were gone. We got back.
And then they abandoned you.
Yeah. So we had not seen them in 7 years. So they came down. So we spent a ton of time with them. The day they left, my best friend Finn came into town for a week. The day we left, the same day for me to fly to nationals for a week with the kids. And 2 days later, I had to be back for training once I got back from that. And then 2 days after that, my dang child got sick. And so for 2 weeks, the entire house is sick. And now I keep blowing my voice out at school because it hasn't recovered. So I can't even talk. Like I don't have enough time to regenerate my voice before I blow it out again teaching. So it's just nightmarish. Like,
I'm going out on a limb here, Alan, and I'm guessing that audiobook narration is out of the question.
I can't do it when I can't speak. I've been out of town and then I've been sick since I've been back. So everything is set up. It is first on my list when I am well again to hit the dang thing.
Wow.
I didn't realize my summer was going to be so busy. I read one book in July, and I have not even completed one book in August. That like everyone should abandon me. And
No,
like
We haven't.
was the July book good?
I mean, yeah, I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot, but I'm still 120 pages into Lord of Emperors. Haven't finished it yet. I just have not. It's, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows, guys? I do exist, and I miss everybody, and I miss reading. But it has been one of the busiest summers in recent memory. And then I foolishly, Atticus and I, no one's been sick since April when we stopped taking Atticus to the nursery. I took him to the nursery one time, and 2 days later, like clockwork, he's infected again because people can't be bothered to leave their sick children at home. Yeah. Like our church has an online you can watch it online. You don't have to go and bring your sick child. You can stay at home with your runny-nosed brat and not infect my kids, please. Like, it's not like you have to go to work. Like leave your kids at home, please.
And don't you love how the runny-nosed kids love to come right up to you? I'm sick.
Oh, Atticus had double pink eye. Atticus had double pink eye, double ear infection. Atticus rubbed his eye and then shoved his finger in my eye. And so I got pink eye.
Oh no. Well, Alan, it is really good to see you, my friend. And
it's good to see you too.
You know, this too shall pass. So
everyone, answer in the chat. Is Alan still a real reader? Because he hasn't finished.
No. I'm shocked. I'm shocked there are still people in my Discord. Like, I am shocked. Every time I check it, I am just stunned that it is not tumbleweeds and AI bots.
People love you. That's why people love you, and they're willing to be patient. They know that, you know, you're doing a lot as a father, as a teacher, and they're always here for you when you return. So
it's just a testament to how beloved you are, Alan.
Yeah, a loyalist.
That audiobook's coming, Philip. I promise. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, Brian, you don't have to answer to me. You have to answer to Brian. He's much harder taskmaster.
I do. I'm supposed to call Brian. I meant to, and I just have forgotten. And I only have a few minutes here because my buddy Finn is back in town for the week. So him and Christina are hanging out with the boys, and so I don't want to, be a poor host for a while. So, but I figured I would drop in since I haven't seen anybody in ages.
Well, I am so glad that you came. It makes me so happy. I was hoping you would. I wasn't sure if you got my message or not, but
I said I got it. Voxer did not notice me. I just happened to open Voxer last night, and I set an alarm because I knew I was going to forget, and I did. And my alarm went off and was like, "Oh, okay." So I knew I was going to forget.
Yay. Just to answer Tuesday Vox question here on the topic of Beowulf, thoughts on either John Gardner's Grendel or Paul Kingsnorth's The Wakes. I've never read The Wake, I don't know about The Wake, honestly. I encountered both in the last few days, and they sound really interesting. I have Grendel on my shelf. That is a book that has been languishing there for a while, and I need to get to it. Philip, if maybe we can
buddy read it. Are we supposed to buddy read it, actually, Joanna?
We should.
We talked about
Alan, do you want to join us for a buddy read?
For what? What are you reading?
John Gardner's Grendel.
Oh my Lord! There's no way I'm going to be able to fit
it's
that.
Short.
Right.
It's short, actually.
When are y'all reading it?
We haven't decided.
November.
Okay.
November.
So if I am able to, I would love to join you. But I just ask me in November, and I'll be able to tell. Here, like, I'm hoping that in November and December I can pick up my reading because I have breaks. Like I read a bunch in December and January because of my Christmas break. At least I have historically. I read nothing this summer. June was fine, and then Pete and Sal came here, and it was all downhill from there. It was a wonderful visit. I had so much fun visiting, but I have never been that social during summer. Like it's too many people. It's too many people. So
don't forget, we were all doing another collaboration, and Jimmy is joining us for it as well. Can we announce it? Is that
yes?
Okay?
Let's go ahead and announce it.
Breaking news: we're gonna do another collaboration. It's gonna be the manga. Can anyone guess in the comments? Guess which manga Alan and Jimmy and Joanna and I are gonna read.
Hold on, I'm in this. What is it? What are we reading?
What? You didn't know?
No.
You said you were going to join us, Alan.
What? For what?
You committed. You wrote it in blood.
That is so funny.
To what? What?
I
To
have the
what?
text. I have the text. I will take a picture of the text.
What manga is it? Oh,
You can't claim
Berserk.
betrayal.
Oh,
Berserk is
Berserk.
right. Yes,
Berserk.
Joe got it. Joe got it.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna read Berserk.
When are we reading that?
We said we were gonna start in October, but we can
Here's the
wait.
thing. No, look, manga I can read. It takes me an hour. Done.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I got you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you
So-
so much,
Do
Evan.
you see
I
that,
appreciate
Alan?
that. I
Your
appreciate
Bledla voice is
Thank you.
earning high praise.
I
from
can't
Evan.
do Bledla right now because my
Aw.
voice is blown out. Like I literally can't do it.
Yeah, save the voice, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad. I know it's the worst thing to lose your voice, and
It is because like the problem is like I blow it out third period every day because that's my Greek history class, and it is just an effort because I'm trying, like I've got to get kids interested in ancient Greek war, and the kids from last year are like the second year kids are they're sold, but I've got like 20, not 20, like 16 new kids, so I've got to like pull them in. So I blow it out every day, being like, just talking about war and stuff.
yeah.
Because it just requires a lot of effort.
I mean, I can imagine because you get very revved up. I love it. I've talked about this before. I think I've told you about this before. Like when you watch Alan videos, what I love about Alan's reviews is it's this crescendo effect that he has because he starts off and he's like very like, calm and normal and and then he gets more and more worked up and revved up, and by the end he's just like,
That's why I have a good time too. And I don't have super good vocal technique, so like it's just
that's true. I think that
I just wear it out.
Oh, but I'm sure you do the same thing in your teaching. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I do. It's exactly.
Yeah.
How are you guys? How are you guys? Philip, how are you doing? Joanna, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Oh, I haven't told Philip yet. I told Alan this, but I haven't told Philip yet. My husband, Justin, who actually both of Philip and Alan have met, he is currently reading and loving Senlin Ascends. Sorry.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Like he's loving it. Like he can't stop talking about it. And that's very rare for him. Usually if he reads a book, he's very quiet about it, but yeah, he's been loving it. He keeps on going on about Josiah Croft's word choice. And at the same, he's like, he has this excellent diction, like excellent word choice. And at the same time, it's like very readable. And he's adoring it. And so I just thought I'd pass that along. I thought
Not talked about enough. Yeah. Alan's the one who got me to read the Books of Babel.
So good.
The first book is Senlin Ascends. And I agree, Bancroft's writing is just not talked about enough. It's really brilliant. And that series is super imaginative. And don't let people who hate the last book put you off.
I'm buying it right now, Jenny.
The last book is brilliant. The last book in the series.
My wife agrees with you.
Because your wife is brilliant too.
I agree. I agree.
So.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah. So I know Marianne's like a huge Senlin fan as well. Yeah, man, goodness, it's exciting to see my husband fall in love with a book like this because he's not an avid reader. He did go through Dungeon Crawler Carl earlier in the year.
Okay.
He binged the first 5 books and then he got burned out, sadly. He loved the first book the best, and then after that, it just fizzled out for him. But yeah, it's exciting. Oh yeah,
I'm on book 4 of the Matt Dinniman series, Dungeon Crawler.
I didn't know you had gone through the first. I didn't know you'd read past book 1.
I hadn't talked about it with anybody yet, but yeah, I had a nice conversation with Derry and Brian. And who else was in that? There was one other person. Oh my god, I'm getting old.
Kathy.
Nerdy Kathy.
Yeah,
was in that one. So hello. I had that discussion.
Hey, it's Christina.
Oh, look who's here.
Happy birthday, y'all.
Thank you.
Philip was saying you were brilliant because you like Fall of Babel, and other people don't.
Books of Babel. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I watched the spoiler discussion, and it made me think that book sounds amazing. Like it sounds like
actually,
it has a good ending.
When Alan and I discussed the 4th book, Christina was kind enough to join us for part of that discussion in the
Yeah.
video, which is on my channel. And then you read that letter that you had written
Oh,
to
that was
Josiah
so nice.
Bancroft, which
Yeah.
had all of us in tears.
Yeah.
It did have
So
me
good.
in tears
So
watching
good.
it.
Yeah, it was such a wonderful thing. So thank you for joining us for that discussion again,
Yeah.
Christina. That was really beautiful.
It
Well,
really
thank
was. Yeah.
I'll be
Just
out
wanted
soon.
to say hi to everybody, but my sister's over, so I don't want to
I'll be back.
Oh.
I'll be out soon.
Okay.
stay long. But hello and happy
All the
birthday.
best to you and the
Thank
family.
you so much. Yes. Has anyone read the Winter of the World series? No, I've not. Super cool fantasy trilogy that feels like Tad Williams. Interesting. Yeah. No, I've not heard of it. Thanks for bringing our attention to it. Yeah. Fabulous. That's so cool. Yeah, I did love that discussion. I did watch it. I let myself be spoiled for the end of Books of Babel, but it sounded like a really cool ending, honestly.
I think it's brilliant. And the thing
Yeah.
is, it's a series where you have to be okay with the author's decisions and him doing things that are unexpected.
Well,
If
why
you
would that
just
be a
want
bad
him,
thing?
if you just want him to do what you want, what is expected, then you'll be upset probably by
Yeah.
some of his decisions. But if you're willing to roll with the story, I feel that it makes perfect sense what he ends up doing. But
Oh, there is a collab I do remember that I will read is the Erickson book coming out. Like we
we got to do that. All of us have to do it.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Nikhil.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. That's in
That's October. That's
I think
October.
Nikhil also is an August birthday. Am I right, Nikhil?
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, when is your birthday, Nikhil?
Happy birthday, Nikhil.
Yay. Happy birthday. Thank you. Yeah. That's amazing. So,
Christina sounds like the Dark Tower. Actually, there are some similarities in the both authors. It's different in many ways too, but there's a tower and at the center of both stories, you could say, but both authors go for it, and that's something I love too. And they're both really weird. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so Nikhil's birthday is tomorrow. That's right. I thought maybe our birthdays were somewhat near each other. So, yay.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Nikhil. That's
You
so
guys are
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Yay. So I have a question, and my question is related to what was asked before, in some ways about essential books or canons, I suppose. Not necessarily the same kind of question though, because I feel like would you agree, and I'm sure you both would agree that having read some of the ancient Greek epics or even something like Beowulf, like it informs so much of how you read a lot of fantasy today, right? Or seeing the influence on certain fantasy books, right? Would that be correct to say? Am I right there?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess my question has to do with not just works and how they influence content. Like, for example, maybe looking at the way that ancient Greeks perceived the role of the hero and maybe how that's influenced our perceptions of what a hero is today. But also, I guess I'm just curious about writing style right now and whether fantasy authors, this is just too big a question probably, but just I wonder how much the literary movements have influenced fantasy authors rather than just in content, in style and in structure, for example. And I'll give you an example of this, or I'll try my best. So, like I just recently read my second Virginia Woolf book. I read To the Lighthouse, and so as I'm reading Virginia Woolf and I'm trying to understand, her place in literature more, and of course how that's tied into the modernist movement of writing style. I also just recently picked up, and I showed this in my Instagram, and a lot of people got excited. "Lead in the Mist" by Hopeless Mirrlees, and I have not read that, but I understand that she was a contemporary of Virginia Woolf's, and that maybe wrote in a very similar style. And I think it's really interesting because it's a fantasy book. And so it made me think that's so interesting how a literary movement is influencing fantasy here. But I think if people read that book, they might not think of it in terms of that literary movement and style influencing, You know, we think of fantasy over here, fantasy and science fiction over here, and we think of these like literary movements in classics over here, and we don't think of them having connections. But do you think that there are more connections than we might realize? Hope that question made sense.
I mean, there are so many. Certainly for older fantasy, my instinct is to say, yeah. I mean, William Morris, who was a big influence on Tolkien, wrote in a with prose that is very deliberately reminiscent of older forms of English and sagas and whatnot. He was it's a fake thing, this kind of pseudo medieval language. No one ever spoke the way William Morris or Lord Dunsany or any of these E.R. Edison or any of these older fantasy writers tried to make this archaic prose that felt like medieval English, but it really isn't Old English. It's a made up imitation in a sense. But that was a huge influence, I think, for a long time on the way fantasy writers would write, including Tolkien, who there's a range in Tolkien, but in certain moments he gets a little more, certainly when he's with like Theoden and that kind of thing, he gets a little more Old Englishy there. So I feel like there's a definite influence in terms of authors trying to evoke the feeling of these ancient epics and whatnot through an artificial language. I think you see less of that today than we used to see, and that's a shame because I feel like more contemporary fan. There are exceptions like Johnny Wirtz, who's here in the chat, who has a very distinctive prose and one that I enjoy tremendously, and isn't afraid to go for it and do interesting things with her prose. But a lot of modern fantasy feels very vanilla to me. Feels very modern. The voice feels very modern. And Joanna, how much I love that essay by Ursula Le Guin called "From Elfland to Poughkeepsie," where she talks about how you can create a world that feels different from ours through the prose, which is such an important part of the story. Really, it's not just a decoration. It's at the core of the story and what it is. So that's how I feel about it. Anyway,
I love that. And I mean, Janie Wirtz would be a good example because I know she's spoken before about how when she was growing up, she was highly influenced by the classics, that she read so many works of classic literature, and that maybe informed her writing style. But yeah, I guess I've just been thinking about that so often. And I'm sure the same is true for Le Guin. Funny that Simon brings her up right now. Please talk more about how great Le Guin is, as I need Ellen to hear. Because I mean, I read Le Guin's book, Steering the Craft. Have you read that, Philip? Steering the Craft?
So I've only read all of her Earthsea stuff now and The Left Hand of Darkness.
That's right. Yeah.
So I need to read the rest of her sci-fi. But I suspect that Alan would like the Earthsea stuff. I think Ellen would appreciate the Earthsea books more than her science fiction, I think.
Hey guys, I know that what defines me is, here's someone's comment on my Dispossessed review. Wow. Well, first of all, it's important to know that his YouTube name is Existential Nihilist. All right. So that's really all you need to know. Here's his comment. Wow, a capitalist douchebag didn't like Dispossessed and understood or cared nothing about the ideas of the book. Shocking. Anyway, because look, when you think about Alan, you think about share buybacks, you think about everything being on a subscription model, you think about shareholder profits. Guys, there's nothing I love more than like the one and only indicator of economic health is the stock market. Like that's it.
Did he call you a capitalist? Did they call you a capitalist douchebag? That's what they called you?
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, buddy, like you're mischaracterizing me. Like you're not understanding at all why I didn't like it. It has nothing to do with being a capitalist douchebag. Like there are so many other reasons to insult me. That's not the right one. Like,
can you change his name from Alan to capitalist douchebag?
Capitalist douchebag. Can I change my own name?
That is so crazy.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, I love data center investments. Like I'm actually I actually just wrote my congressman to, I'm asking if they would build a data center in Yosemite. Like, I mean, there's just so much land not being used that we could profit from. So screw you, Buffalo. It's just dumb.
Oh man.
Dumb.
Oh.
Comments we get. They keep us
Yeah.
going.
Right.
So I don't know. I read Left-Handed Darkness and Dispossessed twice, and I'm not a Le Guin fan.
You gotta try her Earthsea stuff.
I mean, I guess.
The Wizard Earthsea is super short.
I mean, that's good. Like, that's certainly good.
I need to read Le Guin as well. I mean, Earthsea as well. I've read a
You haven't read Earthsea?
No, I've only been reading her science. I do want to continue on with her science fiction since I started that route. So I've read, let's see what I've read by her. I did read her nonfiction book, Steering the Craft, which is excellent. I read The Dispossessed, which was my first Le Guin, and I read that twice, and I love it. I will read it a third time. In fact, when Philip reads it, I'm like, please, Philip, please let me be part of that discussion because
Philip, you haven't read The Dispossessed?
No, I see. I've only read The Left Hand of Darkness of her science fiction. I know.
What? You haven't read The Dispossessed? Oh
No.
my gosh, you're gonna love just talking for hours about it. Like, it reeks of Philip. Like,
I can't retire from BookTube until I read The Dispossessed.
Well, I mean, many people prefer The Left Hand of Darkness over The Dispossessed, and I do think The Left Hand of Darkness is incredible, and I want to reread that at some point.
Which part? The part where they're crossing the glacier, or the other part where they're crossing the glacier? Like, which glacier section specifically spoke to you?
Alan, don't you like glaciers? Are you prejudiced against glaciers too?
No,
that's sort of a capitalist stance.
I know. That is why I am trying to reduce as many glaciers as possible. Like, I am pro global warming.
It all fits. It all fits.
I'm anti-glacier, pro global warming. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Left-Handed Darkness, man.
Oh.
Oh no.
Gosh. Yeah.
The
yes.
AI summaries. Oh, good grief.
I'm gonna have if I can't get caught up on these read-alongs, guess what? ChatGPT summarize Realm of the Elderlings for me.
It will do it. It'll try.
What's the point?
I know.
The problem is it's not actually very good at it. Like, it's
good at it?
No, it sucks at it. Like, I one time before a live, because it was like late, like I was the first one to read it. I'm like, hey, can you summarize this? And I'm like, and it spat something out, and I'm like, I don't think that was in the book. And like, I went and flipped through. I'm like, it is making things up. Like, this was not in the book. Like, you are wrong, ChatGPT. Like, you are not correct in what this book was about, because I read it. You are doing a terrible job refreshing my memory by implanting false ones. So that was the only time I ever tried to do that. It did not succeed.
Yeah, that's really sad. Yeah, sure. So for Le Guin, I've read The Dispossessed, The Left Hand of Darkness, The Word for World is Forest, and I feel like there's another one, and I'm not thinking about, but maybe I'm wrong.
It wasn't Ethan. It was Memory by KJ Parker. That's the one I tried. Yeah.
The Lathe of Heaven. I've also read The Lathe of Heaven.
Isn't that one about therapy?
Yeah, it's about a psychologist it's about a person whose dreams become reality, but he has no control over what he dreams. And then this psychologist builds this contraption, and he's able to use, I guess, like subliminal messages or something, whatever, to try to manipulate his dreams. And therefore he tries to make the dreams come out to his own end and control reality. I liked it. I thought it was really good. Some people consider it their favorite Le Guin, honestly, and it's fairly short. Yeah, has some good stuff in it. You'd probably enjoy it more. I would say at least more.
I think at this point it's safe to say that I'm just not Le Guin sci-fi is just not for me. It's just, I don't know. I'm having difficulty reading right now, and I certainly don't need to read. Le Guin is not going to be the one that helps me get out of this reading slump.
Probably not. Yeah.
Sadly. But I have to go. But This has been delightful. Thank you for letting me come on.
Well, honestly so grateful that you joined, even for a short time. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much, Alan.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you for having me. I love you
and
both dearly, and hopefully I will be back online like in September. I'm hoping September will free up. I'll have some more time in September. So that is my hope, that once this month is over, because I have no visitors, no one is coming to my house. Like I have no one. And the boys are getting slightly easier to take care of because Theo is also August birthday, like you guys.
Oh,
He just turned 1 back a couple weeks ago.
oh,
No
happy
way.
birthday to you.
Dude,
Wait, what day was that? What day was that?
6th. Theo's birthday's the 6th.
Okay.
So he
Wow.
just turned 1. Atticus talks all the time. All the time. He has a blow up sword. He runs around. He's like, I'm vanquishing bad guys.
I love that so much.
We taught him the word vanquish because we're trying to avoid him the KILL word. So we're like, vanquish. So he says vanquish. He loves Busy Town. I don't know if anybody ever read Richard Scarry growing up.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
He has so many Richard Scarry books. So
I even had the little, like, you pop out and you can fold the bottom and they'll stand up.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he loves Busy Town. So he loves Richard Scarry and Busy Town. He loves trucks. He is learning. He's just learning so much with his language, which is super interesting to watch him like fix grammar errors like that he used to make. Like, so it's super cool. They're good kids. And Theo is almost as big as Atticus and incredibly strong. He's about to start walking. So
Wow.
I saw him literally on the baby gate. Theo lifted himself up like his feet were not on the ground, like just with his upper body. Like he's a titan. Like, he's just so strong. He knocks Atticus over when they're both sitting on the ground. Theo gets on his knees and like leaps at Atticus and knocks him over. And Atticus starts.
Did he learn that from his Uncle Jimmy?
Probably, because Atticus is frail. Atticus is a delicate flower. But Theo falls off of something, cries, and then immediately falls off it again. I don't care. So anyway, I'm going to rest my voice, but it's wonderful seeing you guys. Thank you for everything.
Wonderful to see you. Be well, Alan. We love you.
Yeah, take care. Thank you so much.
Philip, I'll be hitting you up as soon as I can start this process. But
yep, no worries.
Don't forget about Berserk.
Just remind me.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
Well, that was nice. It was good.
That was nice. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Don. Nice to see you.
John. Good to see you, John.
Yay. I was excited watching his TBR video because he has both Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb, which is such a phenomenal fantasy book. Oh, so good.
Yep. He's going to love The Realm of the Elderlings so much.
Yes. Yeah. And he also had one of my favorite books of all time, which is Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. So excited to hear his thoughts about that. There's a movie coming out, and I'm really scared to see it because I love that book. And I'm like, I know you've talked about recently about how you're all for adaptations being totally different than the book. And I'm behind that too, to some extent, but there's something about Clara that touches me in like such a very personal way that when I see it on the screen and it's done in a certain way, I don't know, there's something that might not.
But no one will ever be able to take the book from you. So
that's right. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I'll just live with the book in my heart and then hear what other people say about the movie. And then maybe I'll see the movie. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Jenny had a comment up here that I wanted to highlight. Same era, The Dream Master by Roger Zelazny. Same sort of premise, but wildly different.
Read more by him. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we both read Lord of Light by Zelazny.
Yeah.
And I love that book. I thought our discussion was amazing. But I know that he's written a lot of fantasy, like Chronicles of Amber, for example. And I constantly hear about that series and have not gotten to it. But yeah, there's a lot of older fantasy I'm really curious about.
Never ends.
Yeah, it never ends. Let's let's see. You know what? Philip saw it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I've seen it, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I had just one complaint, and it's really not. It may be more the particular theater I was in than anything else. Although I hear it might be a Nolan thing, but it's that the sound was so loud
Oh, I hate that.
that there were many times when I couldn't. It was so loud and rumbling. I mean, my whole body was vibrating from like. So the
Yeah.
dialogue was so loud I couldn't hear it. If that makes any sense, it was just this one giant blur in my ears, and I'm trying to. And they're speaking in with an American English, accent, and not particularly difficult to understand dialogue, but it was just so loud that it was painful almost. That was my one complaint. Other than that, I actually thought the film was, like I was saying about adaptation, I'm not expecting it to be a beat for beat
Yeah.
reproduction of the Odyssey. So if it left out certain things, that's okay. I'm trying to see what the film is trying to do. What is Nolan trying to do with the film? What's the point he's trying to make? How is he trying to make it relevant to today? And I think he did a lot actually to make it relevant to today. It was actually clearly an attempt to uh, frame the Odyssey in conversation with a lot of stuff that's going on in the world today. So I thought it was a very interesting and provocative and pretty cool film. But yeah, I wish I had had brought earplugs with me or something. But
These are really great. They're called loops. So if I open them up, they're just little earplugs, and they're supposed to be good for concerts because they're supposed to filter the sound. So you still get a good sound quality, but you're protecting your ears at the same time.
I never
So I
heard of
never,
that.
yeah,
Huh.
so I always go to concerts with these because I want to protect my hearing. I think it's so important that we protect our
Well,
hearing.
a musician like you, of course.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my husband got me these a while back, but I'm a big believer in them. If I go to see the Odyssey, which I don't know if I will, because if I go, I have to go by myself. There's no way that my husband's going to sit through a 3-hour film, but like that. But it's the same thing. It's like I would have to bring these because I'm very sensitive to that, and I feel like theaters have just gotten louder and louder and louder over time. So
Yeah, I guess I don't. Maybe theaters are just like that in general. But
yeah.
but I did like the film. I thought it was a great film.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so neat, and I love how inspired everybody is about it. Like, I think that's the beautiful thing about the Odyssey right now, about the film, is it has inspired so much discussion, so
Yeah.
much interest in returning to the book, and I did read the book back in college. I still have my Fangles edition there on the shelf, and
Yeah.
I wanna go back and reread it now because, honestly, I've just forgotten most of the story at this point. So, yeah, I remember enjoying it back then, but I think it'd be
Yeah.
great to revisit that.
Yeah, it's really yeah, it's a book I've read multiple times. I wouldn't mind doing a reread though. It's one of those we were talking earlier about, books if you want to be in conversation with a lot of later literature, it's probably would be on most people's essential list, I would guess. So,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm very, very curious about that. Ah, thank you so much. Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Yeah, I was curious about this topic of, like, writing movements and whether they influence fantasy, I guess a lot of people make a distinction, and I wonder if you do too, especially when I hear people talk about pre-Tolkien fantasy or even fantasy around the time of Tolkien versus even just recent decades. A lot of people make the distinction I've noticed in conversations between literary fantasy and pulp fantasy. So, talking about pulp fantasy, mostly fantasy that were presented in magazines, for example, like
Sword and
maybe
sorcery. Yeah.
yeah, sword and sorcery, those type of stories, although and obviously there's that dichotomy, and yet I think a lot of people even now recognize there's some really decent writing in some of what we call pulp today. Like, we look back and there's some excellent creativity, there's some, excellent prose, I would say, in some of those stories as well, but then there's also there's a lot of people make that distinction between pulp fantasy and literary fantasy, the literary one maybe being apart from that and maybe having more influence from other genres. Do you make that distinction, or do you think that that's maybe a, inaccurate dichotomy?
It's probably more of a spectrum than a dichotomy, but it's I think it's valid, and The funny thing is that I recently read Conan the Conqueror, which
Mhm.
is the only novel-length Conan story that Robert E. Howard wrote. It was first known, I think, as The Hour of the Dragon. I read it for the Quilluminati, so all four of us read it and we discussed it. And what struck me a lot, really heavily while I was reading it was like, actually this prose has aged really well,
Mhm.
especially if you compare it to some of the stuff that was written near contemporary with it, like E.R. Edison's The Worm Ouroboros, or anything by Lord Dunsany, or any of these earlier, more, respected or literary fantasy writers. They were writing with this much more deliberately archaic prose, and I would venture to say that most modern readers would bounce off of that and would find Howard's writing to be much more accessible,
Yes.
much more conducive to enjoying the story. So I kept thinking, wow, this actually has aged really well as I was reading Howard's story. Now, I don't know if it's Dunsany or Dunsany. I don't know. I don't know that I could be wrong on my
I
pronunciation
don't
on
know
that.
either, to be honest with you. I feel like I've heard it both ways. That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, good question. But anyway, I don't think the Conan stories are particularly like, could I have a deep thematic discussion of Conan the Conqueror that goes on for any length? Probably not. It's really more entertainment, I would say, than it is like thematically driven exploration of the human condition or something like that.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking, wow, there's something to be learned here from the fact that this prose has probably aged, in my opinion at least, better than a lot of the more literary, the stuff that was leaning into the more archaic style back then. So, there's
Yeah,
somewhere,
I
what I
agree
mean?
with that. I've read a little bit of Conan. I read The Tower and the Elephant short story, which is amazing. It's an incredible short story, probably one of
Mm,
the best I've ever read, and a couple of other shorter parts of his shorter stories, I think. And I felt the same way. I felt like his prose was, yeah, it feels like it's aged incredibly well.
it
At the
could have
same
been
time, I mean,
written
there are
20 years
problematic
ago.
things
Yeah.
in it. Obviously, there are problematic issues in his writing. I have
Yeah.
to bring up, but at the same time, like I was impressed because I would agree with you. I think that the story did feel like it was very experimental and at the same time more for entertainment, perhaps. And yet at the same time, I felt like, oh, I could totally see the influence on uh, Karsa Orlong in Malazan Book of the Fallen and the critique of civilization, the critique of, who's the real civilized man or, yeah,
Yeah.
there
It's
was
there.
definitely critique there. It's there.
It's
Yeah.
there. It's there.
Not
Yeah.
in depth, but like you said, but it's definitely there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think any story is completely without theme, and
Mhm.
sometimes a writer doesn't intentionally uh, go about creating a story thinking about theme, but I don't know if is it even possible for a story to lack theme entirely? I don't think so. Is it? I don't.
Well,
It,
yeah. I
not
mean,
that an author has to deliberately put it in there, but sometimes you figure out the theme after you've written the story. Then there are
right.
authors who know what they want to explore and very deliberately construct the story around those themes, like Stephen Erickson, for example. So
Definitely, definitely. Uh, yeah, absolutely agree with that. And I agree, by the way, Michael K. Vaughan has a fabulous channel where he talks so much about Robert E. Howard. Uh, and that was actually how I really got into picking up some Conan short stories because of Michael K. Vaughan's channel.
cool.
Yeah. I became for a deep theme discussion of DCC, Philip.
We did
Interesting.
that, Gary. You were there.
Yeah.
At least the first book. We did the first book. It was a fun discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you think I mean, I know you've said that there are a lot of deep themes in Dungeon Crawler Carl.
I
Do
mean,
you
there's definitely some deliberate thematic exploration
Mhm.
going on of capitalist culture, of
Hmm.
consumer culture, of just the ways in which we kind of dehumanize each other um, because of the modern life, de-emphasizing the individual human and our tendency to, I guess, lump people into labels and categories and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely some, I think, interesting things going on there. Is it as like a thematically driven deep book as, you know, Realm of the Elderlings or Malazan or Wars of Light and Shadow? No, absolutely not. It's not
Yeah.
that level of thematic exploration. But I would never say that it completely lacks thematic depth. You know, there are some, I think, there are things worth discussing in those books. You know, and the attempts to of the protagonists to preserve their humanity in the midst of all the cruelty around them. I think there's a discussion to be had there. But yes, as Rima says, DCC sometimes explores capitalist douchebaggery. We lost our capitalist douchebag, but yes.
That is so
But
funny.
has Alan even read DCC?
No. Yeah,
Okay.
he's
Too
not.
popular, too popular for Alan now, I think,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate it. Yay. I think anyone writing anything that has intimate tendency to include issues they feel are important knowingly or
Yeah.
not. Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
I think that what Stephen Erickson said in one of his discussions really brought to my mind how I think about theme, which of course he's talked about being aspects of the human condition, which we are exploring in the writing. But also, I think one of the conversations I heard with him, he talked about a lot of times you can figure out what the theme of the book is by looking at what is conflicting the characters, like what is the main central conflict that the character is going through. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you look at that, then you can kind of figure it out. I mean, you could bring out theme in other ways too, I think, but that's generally how I identify theme.
Yep. And Derry's absolutely right about DCC being a critique of social media, how it impacts the creators and the audience. Totally right. Totally right.
Yeah.
Pete was asking where that video is. Pete, I have a playlist of all the Quilluminati discussions. I can't remember who hosted the Conan one. It was my pick, but I think back then somebody else was hosting somebody else's pick. So anyway, I do have a playlist. It's in the playlist. It's not that long. So sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. And we got a question for you. Thank you for the birthday. Happy birthday. Are there any news about TBB editions of your
Yeah,
books?
Broken Binding special editions. I have been told the last time I was in touch with them, they said that the art was probably going to get underway either this month, August, and which is almost over, or September. So I am hoping that and I'll make an official announcement when it really is starting. But I'm hoping that very soon we'll be seeing art for The Prophet of Adan book 2, because yeah, we need to follow up on the special edition here of The Way of
Yeah.
Adan. And I'm so excited for it, actually, because Patrick and I had a lot of back and forth about which scenes could be good art. And I'm really excited about the scenes that we settled on for the cover and for the interior art, the color interior art and the black and white. And one of the reasons where it's taking longer is that both artists who did art for this book, so that would be Renee Egner and Peng Lu, both artists have been super busy with lots of work from the Broken Binding for all kinds of, like, a lot of the art that's in the Malazan books and the Sun Eater books is being done by them. So, and you know, those are series that have sold slightly more copies than my Adan trilogy. So clearly they're their priority, but I am hoping that very soon we'll be seeing the beginning of the art for book 2. That's all I can say for sure, but I'll send an announcement as soon as I know for sure. But thank you so much, for the question, and also for Fictional Shards. And I'm incredibly grateful for everybody's support on that.
Yeah. That's wonderful. I'm so excited for you about these special editions. That's so neat. I think that one from book 1 is absolutely stunning. I have that on my shelf as well.
I'm super happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Jerome here says, I don't think it's possible to write a novel without themes. I think you're right. I mean, it would be really difficult.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Maybe possible. I don't know. I want to say never say never, but
Yeah.
I think it's almost impossible to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, I know I sound snobby, but I really do feel like that's what I love the most in books is exploring the themes. That's definitely the reason I read. So, yeah, cool. Very cool. Yay. Well, I really appreciate it. Appreciate you all joining us today. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call a end to the discussion for now because it is getting a little later in the afternoon, and I did promise my husband I would hang out with him. We're watching an anime together. We're watching Your Name, which is an anime we watched a few years ago, but we hadn't watched it in a while. I don't know if you ever heard of it, the movie Your Name.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's an anime movie where I'm trying to think of how to explain the premise. It takes place in Japan, and there's a girl who lives in this city that's out in the boonies, so to speak, and it's like the most beautiful idyllic setting with this gorgeous. It's like an island setting. It's gorgeous, but she's miserable because out in this city or in this town they don't have like cafes, they don't have movie
Mm.
theaters, they don't have all the fun modern
Wow.
amenities. And so as a teenager, it feels like you just live and die in this town and you don't really have anything great to aspire towards.
Huh.
And then there's a boy who lives in Tokyo, and I haven't really figured out what his conflict is yet, but they both want to trade lives, or they both have this miserable life in some ways, or they feel like they're not happy with their lives. And so a comet comes, and the girl at least screams at the comet, I want to be a boy in Tokyo. And they switch places. They end up falling asleep and waking up in each other's bodies. And so she gets to
Okay.
like live the life of a Tokyo boy, and he
Huh.
gets to live the life of a girl out in the boonies. And the animation is absolutely stunning. It is so, so gorgeous.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. The second time, it's been a while since I saw it the first time, but it's just been fun to revisit it. So yeah, I just want to thank Philip for joining me today. I this has been so much fun, and yeah, a happy birthday, Philip.
Well, happy birthday to you, Joanna. And it's so wonderful to know you and to be able to chat about books with you. And this friendship is something that I cherish very much. And so thank you and happy birthday to you. And also thank you to everybody, all the there's Janny again, and all the wonderful people in the chat. You guys are all wonderful people. I feel very privileged to be part of this community. So thank you all.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, I wanted to say, yeah, that's right. I did recently hear that Brandon Sanderson's Yumi and the Nightmare Painter is directly inspired by the anime Your
Ah,
Name. So it's a gorgeous movie. Highly recommend everybody check it out. Thank you again to everybody. Appreciate you, Derry.
thank you,
Appreciate
Gary.
everybody in the chat. And thank you again, Philip. And thank you again, Alan, for joining us today. This was lovely. And until next time, have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.